just want to get my thoughts out, I want to record a video. Never really done it like this before. To be honest with you, I'm a bit nervous, but bear with me here. This may be a bit like unedited, over edited. I don't know what the blueprint is really going to be. This is kind of like a test run, first draft, whatever it is. So just bear with me here. This might not be like every YouTube video you've ever seen. Okay, so like I said, I want to provide a little bit of gameplay and I kind of just want to talk. I just want to yap, okay? So bear with me here. I'm a yapper, sorry. But nice to meet you. My name is Diona, and that is spelled Diona. And I'm a trans person, and that's okay, you know? 2025, like, it seems as though the world kind of wants you to either A, forget that you are a trans person, or B, just don't be one. So it's unfortunate that that's the case. And if you don't know what being a trans person is or what that means, it really just means that your outside appearance doesn't match your inside appearance. That's the most simple kind of elementary school way to put it. But yeah, your outside appearance doesn't match your inside appearance, which is very unfortunate and can be kind of disorienting for some people. Like, for most people that experience this phenomenon called gender dysphoria, where you just feel as though your gender just doesn't match your assigned sex at birth, it can be very traumatic. It can sometimes feel like you don't know how to breathe, or you know, it's like being trapped almost. Okay, so I just kind of want to talk about my experience maybe for a second. It was my classmate's birthday. He was a dude. We'll call him Brandon. That's not his real name, but we'll use fake names for the sole purpose of just having an example. And my female classmate, we'll say her name was Lucy. Again, not her actual name, but just to have a story. So, me being with the boys, it was Brandon's 10th birthday, and it was Lucy's 11th birthday. And they were having their birthdays on the same day because I suppose they were born on the same day. That's how that works. And so, Lucy showed up to school that day in a bright yellow sundress with brown sandals. And Brandon had on a Nike sweater and some shorts. That was basically what he wore to class every day. Like, there's always like that meme of like guys have like one pair of jeans their whole life, and that was basically Brandon. Let him live. He was 10, and so Brandon shows up wearing the same clothes he wears every day, and Lucy shows up looking beautiful and as bright as ever. And I just remember sitting at Brandon's table on the playground in recess, eating cookie cake with my friends from class, and I couldn't even notice anything that was happening around me because Lucy just looked so ravishing in her sundress. Like she was shining, like the sun was shining down upon her, and she was glowing. She had the birthday glow, and I just remember thinking, even if it was only for like a split second, I just remember thinking, man, I wish I looked that good. Like, who doesn't want to look good, look attractive? Maybe not when you're 10, 11 years old, but later down the line, everybody wants to be a good looking person. And every time I had thoughts of like wanting to be like a good looking person, they were just never really in relation to like looking at other dudes. It's like, I don't know, that's the best way I could really explain it to you. That's like the earliest memory I have of like really feeling like something was misaligned. And that's why I say I can remember it like it was yesterday, because like I don't think about it every month, week, or day, but I just I don't think I could ever forget that feeling. It wasn't jealousy, it was envy, like I wanted to be like that, and I was happy that she was like that. I didn't want to be like that and have her be something else, I didn't want to take away her beauty to have my own. I didn't want to magically swap with her and, make her ugly or anything. I just kind of thought it would be nice if we both looked like that. So that was kind of the thought process that I had there, and that's kind of a lot to process when you're 10 years old. So kind of just ignored it, I guess. Just kind of acted like it didn't happen or it didn't exist, and I just shoved it down, deep down. And like I said, it was a couple of years later. I was like 14. I think that was the first time I ever downloaded a social media site. And I met a lot of people. And I was exposed to a lot of different, like, takes and walks of life, People from all different kinds of countries that weren't even in the same time zone as me. And when you're 14, I hope you can understand the concept of time zones, but I've just never at that point spoken to anybody that was in India or the UK or Germany or Sweden. Like, I only knew my classmates in school. So it was a lot. And I'm not gonna say that, the internet is to blame for everything that happened to me or why I am who I am today, but I was exposed to a lot of different voices and opinions, and I started to kind of take a little from this person or from this person to kind of realize who I was. I would think to myself, oh, I agree with this person. Oh, I don't agree with this person. And I started to realize who I was. I got so much life experience just from sitting on my phone, and I never sat on my phone before like that. I was 10 years old. I was playing Candy Crush or something. So once I started to kind of realize I liked these things, I didn't like these things, and I realized more of who I was as a person, those feelings started to come back, because I realized that some of the things I liked, a lot of the other guys that I knew didn't. A lot of them thought it was weird, Like, I think this is a very common experience, but like for a trans person at least, I was literally at like the lunch table with my best friends, and I was like, have you guys ever wondered what having boobs would be like? Like, if your chest was just bigger, like if you just woke up one day and had boobs, like, wouldn't that be kind of crazy? And they were like, no, we've never had that thought before. That's for girls. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Suppose boys don't really think like that. And again, I shoveled down, and I shoveled down, and I shoveled down. And you can shovel all you want, but eventually the truth is going to come out either way. So I think when I was 14, that's when I really knew that I was different from everybody else. And I think I was maybe 15 when I really figured out what it was. Like, I met other trans people on the internet, and they explained to me their stories, and oh shoot. Well, thank you, game, for turning me around. I just drove to the edge of the map on this game. That's really funny. Like I was saying, I met trans people. I learned of their stories, and I started to realize, like I said, I realized what I liked and what I didn't like. And a lot of these stories from before they really had their, I like to call it the Big Bang, when you really notice what's going on and you realize what it is, they all sounded like my story and the life I was living. Feeling like you were different from everybody else, but not really knowing what it is, or just wanting to be happier with who you are. It's crazy that that's such a foreign concept to some people. Like going to the pool and taking your shirt off and it feeling so wrong, but everybody else seeing it as so right. It's a weird thing to experience. So I have this friend. We'll call her Rachel for the purpose of the video. And Rachel, I've known her about 4 years now, we'll say, is one of the sweetest people that I've ever met. Every time I'm feeling sad about something, she always knows just what to say. She is a trans person as well, and I asked her to provide a quote for my video. I didn't really give her much to work with. I just said, hey, can you provide a quote that will inspire people? Because she always knows just what to say. And so I'm going to read to you the quote that she's provided me. She says, hope. Hope is what drives us forward. Without hope, what is there? Fear is the enemy of hope. You keep people afraid, keep that fire inside of them extinguished, the fire that prospers them forward, the flames of hope. Look at yourself, your existence, your identity, who you are. They are the result of people like us who dare to hope, who never let that fire inside of them burn out. They let it grow higher and higher. They did not let fear control us. They fought for a better future, a better tomorrow. They may burn our history, burn our books, but they will never take away who you are. Do not let your flame of hope extinguish. Let it rise. Ride as high as the stars. Let that hope overcome you. Let it drown out the fear. When we let fear win, we lose who we are. Let your flame rise. Let it out. Be who you are. You are strong. You are powerful. We are united. United against fear, against hate. Transgender people have always existed and always will. No matter what, we will persist. Thank you, Rachel, for providing such a hopeful quote for my video. You are much appreciated. So, being a trans person, I've made a lot of friends online over the last couple of years. And I think now I've got a bit of a friend group. I've got a lot of people, male and female, that I hang out with, and we play games and we talk about TV shows and movies and life struggles. And the other day, me and a friend of mine were just sitting on the phone when I discovered a Twitter post, and due to the time that I post this video, some of you might know what game I'm talking about, but I'll leave it out because it's not really the focus. And so the other day, I found out that one of these games that me and my friend used to play a lot when we were younger is going to shut down. They're completely turning off the servers. That's it. You can play the offline version, couch co-op, whatever you want to call it, and that's the end of this game. So me and my friend were playing it for the very last time, trying to get all of the achievements on it before the server shut down. He got the platinum trophy. I didn't. I only had one trophy left. And while I was brainstorming an idea on how to get my very last trophy, I was telling my friend, one of my ideas, and he realized it was pretty good. So he says to me, he's like, let her cook. Let her cook. And it's funny because, he was serious, that it was a good idea, but at the same time, it was kind of like a silly way that he said it. And despite all of that, it made me want to cry. It's like a weird thing to explain to people who don't get it. But it's just like, I know my friends are there for me and they love me, but sometimes I really forget that they see me for, me. They call me by my correct name, and they use my correct pronouns, but it was just so emotionally crushing for a moment to have somebody say, let her cook, and have it be in reference to me. I just never had that happen to me before. Bit of an authentic moment in my journey, kind of just casually experience what others have every day. And again, just like I said with Lucy and her 11th birthday, it wasn't jealousy, but more so envy. You know? It's not that I want everybody else in the world to stop experiencing regular joy and having moments where people see them for themselves and love them and care for them. But I want that for myself as well. I mean, it's 3 in the morning right now, and I'm recording this because I think this is probably the only time I could really casually talk about this, where I don't think there'll be any prying ears trying to listen in on what I'm saying. I just want to talk casually about my personal experience for a few minutes or 30, if that's how long this ends up being. But I just want to say I appreciate all of you that have made it this far into the video, who are listening to what I'm saying and care about my words. It truly does mean a lot, you know? So, that being said, I think this is the end of the video. I appreciate you all so much for watching. Like, comment if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.